Hi everyone, my name is Giselle and I'm the digital marketing strategist here at Texas State University. And you're listening to Try at Texas State. Today's episode, we're talking about bees. Intricate, a bit scary, and endlessly interesting, bees are the backbone to our ecosystem. There's roughly around 4,000 different bee species in the US, and about 800 of them are native to Texas. These little creatures are adaptive, independent, and more creative than I ever gave them credit for. I got to sit down with Christopher Miranda, a Texas State student and a member of the Bobcat Buzz Club, to understand the bees a little bit better. So hi, Christopher. What's up?
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. So for those that don't know you, please tell me your name, your major, and what you do with Bobcat Buzz.
My name is Christopher Miranda. I'm a pre-radiation therapy major, and I'm the president of Bobcat Buzz.
Awesome. So we met a couple of weeks ago when we went out to go film the Try at Texas State with Annabelle. We had a really fun time. She got stung, but otherwise it was a good time. I had a good time. I loved seeing the bees and meeting y'all. So let's start from the beginning. What got you involved in the bee club to begin with?
Well, I mean, like any freshman, I was kind of just trying to find like where I could fit into Texas State, as I didn't know anyone here, moved over 500 miles away from home. So I was just trying to find somewhere to fit in. I've always been interested in agriculture. I grew up in a farm, kind of. So the bee club just kind of fit. It just called to me. It was really fun.
Where are you from?
I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Okay, so you are far away. Okay.
I'm from as West Texas as you can get.
So I'm going to ask you, why are bees important? Because we hear a lot of people in the media talking about bees, but a lot of us don't know why we need them.
You hear the Save the Bees movement, but it's not exactly the bees that you're thinking about. Okay, so when you think about bees, what's the first bee that comes to mind?
Like a honeybee.
Mm-hmm. So honeybees are the most successful bee species in the world. They're originally from Europe, and now they're basically everywhere else. The bees that we're talking about when it comes to saving the bees movement is more native pollinators, like native bee species. There's leaf cutter bees. There's like these little burrowing bees and stuff. Those are the bees that we're mainly targeting, like trying to promote saving. Of course, the honeybee is like the poster child because everyone just knows what a honeybee is. When it comes to like saving the bees, it's those bees because we use pesticides. We no longer promote like wildflower spaces. We lose our meadows that support a lot of that wildlife. So those are the bees that we're actually talking about when it comes to the saving the bees movement. But the honeybee is our poster child. For
Bobcat Buzz, what kind of bees do you guys have in specific?
Okay, so we do maintain the poster childs. We do support like native bee species, but we can't really keep them the same way. Native bees are solitary. They don't live in colonies like honeybees. But the ones that we have 5 honeybee hives between here at the main campus and the Freeman Ranch Center.
Okay, so do you guys harvest honey too? And where can people get that honey?
Okay, so yes, we do plan on harvesting honey soon. Unfortunately, right now, 4 of the hives are brand new. We haven't been working on them for that long, so we don't have honey yet. But once we do get started, we will do our best to promote it and get it out there to our fellow Bobcat students.
That's awesome. So, okay, walk me through the colony, right? So I know that there's a queen bee and I know that there are worker bees, but that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge. For those that don't know, give me a rundown of the colony.
Okay, so we have the queen bee, the one everyone thinks is, like the head honcho. When in reality, it's not really her, it's more of the worker bees. There's queen bee, worker bee, and drones. The queen bee, her only responsibility is to lay eggs. That is her primary function. The workers, they control the entire hive. They decide where the queen bee will be, when they'll go get food, when to heat the hive because it's getting too cold. They control every function of the hive. And then when it comes to drones, a lot of people think that they're there to protect the queen bee. Quite the opposite. All they're really there for is to mate. And then once they mate with the queen bee, they die. Their reproductive organ rips out from them and they actually just die right after that. They go up into a mating frenzy. Queen bee will go up to that little space where other male bees are at. And as many of them will mate, a bunch of them will mate with her. And once they're done mating, they will die. Once winter hits, all drones are kicked out of the hive because they serve no purpose. They're just taking up space. They're just taking up food. There's no purpose for them. They will all be kicked out of the hive and basically left to die.
Oh my God, that's brutal. I have so many jokes in my head, but I'm not going to utilize them in this moment. I was going to ask you,
what are the physical attributes of these bees? Like, can you tell? I know that the queen bee is larger, right?
Okay, so this is gonna sound so wrong, but like the best way to like identify a queen bee is just she has a big butt. Like you'll see it. It's insane. Like once you see like a worker bee and then you see the queen bee, you're like, oh my god,
It's obvious.
it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like you just know because her
behind.
her behind is just so big compared to the other ones. You can literally tell. It's crazy. Also, she always has like a deeper, richer color, like more amber, depending on the species too. They could be just darker. You can just tell that it's the queen. You know, she has that glory about her. You
Yeah.
know?
No, I get it. I mean,
What's that called? We've like in our hives, we've only seen the queen bee twice, and every time we were just like, oh my god, it's the queen.
Really?
It's crazy because like you almost never see her. There's thousands of bees just covering there, so there's a really good chance you'll never see her. And then when we do see her, we're like, oh my god.
It's like a celebrity.
Yes, it's like, oh my god.
Oh my god, there's the queen. It's the queen. That's funny. So if the queen bee dies, does that just mean the hive is dead?
No. What happens is the worker bees, they will get like the last eggs or the last larvae that came from like the last batch, and they will start feeding them a special food called royal jelly. They will try to make as many as they can, but they will feed them a royal jelly. It's like this. It's different from honey. It's like a
jelly?
royal jelly.
Royal.
If you ever look into like a hair products or something like that or creams, you can see like royal jelly. It's because it's supposed to have like a bunch of beneficial like properties. I don't know exactly what those properties are. But I know it's marketed that way. But basically, the babies are fed that royal jelly, and then once they become like, you can tell that it's a queen. It's going to be a future queen because of the cell, like where they hatch from, it's huge. And then what happens? All those queen bees, they're only the first one to hatch will try to kill the other queens that are like in development to try to make sure that she's the only queen, because they are going to compete for it. And then if there's too many queens, the hive could split, and that could endanger them to like maybe not make it. Because if they feel like there's too many queens, sometimes one queen will take like a bunch of the workers and they'll just fly off.
Oh my gosh.
Which could like, it could either make or break the hive. Either way, they could succeed and just make it, or they could just not recover from what's it called, like not having the rest of their workers. And sometimes maybe their queen that they were left with didn't mate, so it was kind of maybe like a waste of time, you know.
Dang, this sounds like Machiavellian. As you're describing it, I'm like, whoa. We were talking about weather. And so what happens to bees during the heat? What happens to them during the winter? Like what's their season?
During the spring and summertime, that's when they're most active, because that's the only time where they have flowers available to them to collect pollen, and then of course make honey, which is what they need to survive the winter. And I mean, Texas winters are really bad too, but during the heat of it, they're active. Obviously, they're out there. They're at the colony is at the height of their capacity. There's a ton of bees. Like, as you guys saw, there's a lot of bees right now because it's spring. They're active. The queen is active. She's laying nonstop. There's thousands of bees. So when you open them up in the spring and the summer, they're gonna be a little more aggressive. They're gonna be, not too happy that you're exposing them, that you're like getting into all their business. So they are going to be a little more aggressive. And then like, when you guys came out to like do the Bobcat try, the reason why we were a little like, maybe just a little like on the edge about like opening the beehive is because it was raining. And what could happen if water or too much moisture gets into that hive, they heat it up. So like the bees, they maintain their hive at a certain temperature. And so with that heat and that moisture, that creates a problem for mold and fungus, and possibly even bacteria. Like we've had incidents before where a hive got like exposed to water, and entire like frames of honey and like wax are just molded over.
Oh no.
And that can be really bad for them, because if they're breathing that in, they get sick and then they could die. And then the hive on the main campus that we have here, it's our oldest hive, so we're very protective of it. It's kind of like our little baby. It's the first one we have, so we're just like, let's not open it up in the rain. But then the rain let up and we were all good.
Yeah.
And they were not happy about it either way, but they were okay. They're okay. We were not expecting them to be as mad as they were when you guys went out. They're usually our nicest hive. Like they're the nice hive. We've had people go out there all the time. Like
it made for good content, don't worry.
It was a little it was a little stressful. We were like, oh no, she got stung. Like I was wearing, like we gave y'all our best suits,
I
like the strongest
know.
ones.
You can't prepare for everything. And the other thing is that you guys were very helpful and very on top of it whenever she did get stung. So everything ended up being totally
By
fine.
the way, how is she? I haven't
She's
really.
fine.
Okay.
She's okay. I mean, it definitely hurt. She was talking about how bad it hurt. Her neck was pretty swollen, but otherwise, she just said that it itched for a long time afterwards.
It's a weird, like getting stung by a bee if you're not allergic. It's like a weird feeling because, like at first it hurts really bad. It's just like a piercing pain, but then it either kind of just goes away. And here's the thing: the venom can travel, and it could go somewhere else entirely. Like I got stung in my finger the other day, and the next thing you know, it traveled up to my middle finger, which makes no sense. Like I was like, why is my finger swollen? Why does it hurt?
Oh, that's so interesting.
It was weird, and we don't know why that happens, but it just does. Like the main finger that got stung wasn't really affected other than when it got stung. And the next day, my middle finger is swollen and in pain, and I'm like,
that's so strange. That's weird. Okay, so it travels. Do bees have different personalities?
yes. So back to this hive, we named it Beelzebub. They're just like mad all the time.
Wait, why are they so mean? Is there are there like reasons for bees to be temperamental?
It's genetics.
Genetics.
So I don't know if you heard. Scientists one time they crossed European honeybees with African honeybees. And African honeybees are notoriously like aggressive. But those hybrid bees, they kind of escaped. And they have been spreading throughout like the local populations. What happens when they breed with our regular honeybees, those aggressive genes get passed on. And of course, since again, the queens cycle every 5 years, there's usually a new queen after a while, and they have to go mate. And when they mate with like a male with the aggressive gene, they get those aggressive genes, and then the generations after that are all super aggressive. So there's a really good chance that most of our hives are Africanized, or just working with it. And until we can like raise more funds, we're kind of just stuck with those queen bees, because believe it or not, queen bees are kind of expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They can be.
They
like,
know their worth, you know.
Yeah, they're like over $100 each.
Oh wow,
and that's like on the cheap side actually.
That's crazy.
It depends on like the variety that you want.
Huh.
And like there's Italian bees, there's like a bunch of American like brands that now exist. And you're paying a ton of money for like the queen bee with really good genetics. But here's the thing, the hive can reject her. They could kill her, because what you're supposed to do, they have like this little special cell that protects them from the outside, and you insert them into the hive, and once they accept her, they like release her from it. They'll eat like this little candy film and let her out. But if they don't like her, they'll eat the candy film and kill her. So
drama.
Yeah. And then it's just a waste of like $100 or $200.
Oh my gosh. And it's all up to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. So I'm gonna change directions from killing bees and
Okay.
and the murderous traits that these aggressive bees have. But is there something that you wish more people knew about bees that they don't? Like whenever you're talking to someone like a layman like myself that doesn't know anything about bees, you're like, oh, I wish you knew this.
I wish people knew more about like native bee species, because they're just so cool. Wild bees have such like a crazy like life. They live solitary lives, and then when they mate, it could be either really aggressive or just like whatever, it's just another day. But what I think is so cool is that some of these female solitary bees, they create like these little tunnels, and what they'll do, they'll lay one egg, give them like a special little ball of pollen, and then make a layer like a mud layer or a leaf layer, and then next egg, it's like a whole little chain. It looks like if you were just to like have it put out, it looks like a fancy little necklace with a little ball of pollen, a little white gem. That's the egg or the larva. And what happens is the queen will sadly die after that, but then her babies are all left behind, and they will eat through that pollen that she left them, and that's how the next generation starts. It's not all people just think that like all bees like live in colonies. It's not true. Some of them live by themselves, and they create like these beautiful like intricate nest systems, or like you see the little like mud architecture on the walls. They have so many different like structures when it comes to like how they reproduce, how they create the next generation.
That's wild. They sound a lot. The way that you're talking about them makes them sound like people. You know,
they have intricate systems.
Yes.
Like they're related to ants and wasps. Like, you know how like ants have intricate layers in their colonies and stuff. It's basically the same thing, only these are solitary. They still create like their intricate little system.
Is there anything that we can do as individuals to like help protect the bees?
Don't use pesticides.
Don't use pesticides.
Don't use pesticides.
Okay.
Promote organic organic practices. Plant more native plant species. Just stop using pesticides.
Okay.
It will also affect the honeybees, which we'll depend on for our current agricultural model. Without the honeybees, our agricultural model won't really survive because they provide us with all the nuts and fruits that we depend on. Because a lot of those plants need the honeybees to come and pollinate them, since native bee species don't have the same numbers that the honeybees do. So we kind of rely on the extreme numbers of honeybees to go out there, pollinate all our food, and then, get that plant going.
Okay, noted. I'm going to try and find some native plants that I can start bringing to my patio. So what kind of advice can you give to someone who's trying to get into bees? Because it's kind of like a daunting experience because you can get stung.
So the reality of beekeeping is you will get stung. It's a given. You cannot get around it. But for those who do want to take like a step back and not, jump into the hive, we do have things where we're like, we'll go out to the gardens instead. You can help us, go into the garden, prepare it for the honeybees and all that stuff. You don't have, if you want to join Bobcat Buzz and you don't necessarily want to go into the hive because you're afraid of getting stung, and it's a valid fear because you might be allergic, you might not be allergic, who knows? And you can always just come out with us, join our meetings. Our meetings are usually indoors, so you won't be exposed to any bees. You can just come join us, have a good time. We usually have lessons every 2 weeks. We go over hive structures, how it works, how a beehive structure works, how to start one, how to feed your hives, how to maintain them. It's little lessons there to prepare our club members, and people are always welcome to that. They don't have to be out in the beehives if they don't want to. And typically, we will not go out to the hives in our meetings. We will go on separate days, on the weekends, as a team, because one person cannot go alone. It's more of a safety precaution because you never know, something could happen.
Yeah, no, I get you. And then finally, we're coming up to the last question. What is the best lesson that you have learned since taking care of bees?
It's a weird one. Don't eat bananas when you're going into a beehive.
Oh, don't eat bananas.
Don't eat bananas.
Okay.
It's a weird one because when we got that hive, Beelzebub, I ate a banana right before, releasing them, and I got swarmed. I was the one that got swarmed. There was the gentleman who donated the bees, and there was my vice president, Connor, right next to me. They ignored them for the most part. They still got swarmed, but I got swarmed the most. I was covered head to toe with bees. Okay. So don't eat bananas when you're around bees because, again, remember how we said it smells like banana Laffy Taffy? It's the same chemical that's in bananas is in that chemical of the pheromone that they release. So if they smell banana, they're thinking mad, attack. So the banana smell was on me. They smelled that, they attacked me. So
awesome.
Don't eat bananas. Don't eat bananas when you're on beehives.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that piece of advice. I really appreciate you coming and talking about bees with me, but thank you, Christopher. This has been great.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you so much to Christopher for this conversation and the whole Bobcat Buzz team for letting us come out and experience the hives in full force. And thank you for listening to this episode of the Try TXST podcast. Make sure to tune in next time to learn more about something else you can try on campus at Texas State. And also remember to follow us on our social media at TXST. This podcast is a production of the Division of Marketing and Communications at Texas State University. Podcasts appearing on the Texas State University Network represent the views of the hosts and guests, not of Texas State University. Again, I'm your host, Giselle Kowalski, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.